Hello YouTube! My name is Ace Trainer Jake. And guys, this is my first video. For my first video, I want to do something special. A video inspired by one of the better Poketubers out there, Poketuber Toby. And it is, if I had an evil team. And that team is Team Shock. So, Team Shock. I had to think long and hard about this, but eventually I had it. But before we get into that, I just want to say, since it is my first video, please guys, like and subscribe. Man, I just noticed how cheesy that is. And now, that is probably the most painful thing I've ever said in my life. Probably going to be saying a lot more of that though, so gotta get used to it. Anyways, back to what I was saying. Team Shock. When I first created him, I didn't know what I was going to do with them. All I knew was that they were going to be electric and super weak types. So I knew how I had to pair him up with another type. I had to think about it, and then I just thought, why not put my second favorite type in there? Doesn't matter. They're not going to actually happen. So I teamed him up with the fire type. So I know that the fire and electric typing makes him super weak to other types, but in my opinion, it doesn't matter. They're still the coolest two types. So, after I got that out of the way, I had to think of a mascot, because I was watching some videos about it, and all of them had mascots. So, I decided to go with my favorite Pokemon, the Shinx line. So, Shinx, Luxio, and Luxray. I knew I had a good trio to build my team around. The grunts would start off with Shinx, then the admins would have Luxio, and then me, as leader, would have Luxray. Wait a second. The admins. Who are the admins? I know I had to make them other Poketubers that inspired me as another Poketuber, as I hope to one day be referred to. So, the first one that I chose is Poketuber Toby. He inspired me to create a YouTube channel. He is my main inspiration for everything I do from now on in this YouTube channel. Most obvious is my name, Ace Trainer Jake. He's Poketuber Toby. And he's just a really cool dude all around. Next is another Poketuber named Israel. Sorry if I pronounced that wrong, but his videos inspired me to make this type of video, showing pictures and videos on the screen while you do voiceovers. Next is a good friend of mine named Fizzle the Hizzle. He makes crazy YouTube videos, and they're super fun to watch and stuff, and his streams are hilarious. He's a really funny dude all around, and I actually know him in person. He is a huge inspiration to me, and I really look up to him. Those three guys are truly my YouTube inspiration. Without them, I don't know if I would even be doing this. I only know Fizzle the Hizzle in person, but Poketuber Toby and Israel, sorry if I pronounced that wrong again, are two of the most inspirational people in my life, and they deserve to be admins on this team. Now, it doesn't make sense. Poketuber Toby already has an evil team, Team Snooze, which, proudly, I am a part of. But then why would he be on Team Shock? Well, what if he was just helping? Team Shock is just forming. It's a new team. It's their first try at it. So, we got a professional help. Team Snooze. They're our partners. If Poketuber Toby is okay with that. So, he's not a permanent admin, he just comes and goes whenever he wants, but he's mainly part of Team Snooze. Now, onto the grunts. The grunts mainly use Shinx, Pichu, Magnemite, Joltik, and Charmander. Yeah, Charmander. Charmander because, well, he's Charmander. Yeah. You ever watch Game Theorist? And now, for the admins. The main Pokemon they would use, there are some other variants that they could use, but mainly they would surround Luxio, Pikachu, Magneton, and Charmeleon. Now, that's not a lot of Pokemon to use, because there is only 3 of them, and they could use whatever they want. They can bring other Pokemon from their evil teams, well, mainly Poketuber Toby, and that's just some basis to go off of. Now, my Pokemon. So, I'm going to use Luxray, Raichu, Magnezone, and Charizard. I am going to be the hardest battle you have fought all game. Harder than any gym leader so far. because I'm going to be a mystery. You're not going to know what I'm going to have. You're not going to know it's coming. You could probably make inferences from the admins and grunts Pokemon. I'm just using their evolutions. But the only thing you truly know about me are the whispers that the grunts talk about after you beat them. The first time that you're going to run into Team Shock is when you enter into your first cave. It's a lot like the cave in Pokemon Black, and it's all electric. It is like jolting and stuff, crawling all around the cave. And then you run into these two people, two grunts, and they're wearing like a weird blue leather jacket with a black undershirt, jeans, and combat boots, and some aviators. And their hair looks like it's been shocked and frizzled and stuff from electricity, like they've been shocked over and over, a lot like Ash with Pikachu. They turn around, they see you looking at them, and they say, "What are you doing here? This is our property. Team Shock." The battle begins. They're fast talking and fast moving, so you don't know what's happening. But out of nowhere, the first one sends out a Shinx, and it comes at you with, say, Shock or Discharge, and a Tail Whip in there too. It's not the hardest battle ever, but it is still challenging for your Pokemon, depending on what starter you chose. You will beat him. You have to. After you beat him, he'll say, "Man, that was good." And he looks like he enjoyed losing. He enjoyed fighting. He gets energy from it. And so he just turns around and struts out of the cave. He doesn't care. He enjoyed it. And then his partner follows him. That's what's so cool about them. They can take a loss. They don't care. They don't get frustrated like Team Skull or any of the other teams because they're better than them. They know how to take a loss. Later in the game, you'll see Team Shock surrounding a giant factory run by electric Pokemon. You sneak into the factory, only caught by a few trainers, but you fight them and beat them. When you make your way to the top of the factory, you see Israel. Once again, sorry for the pronunciation. You never really said it in your videos. But he challenges you. Straight off the bat, he sends his Charmeleon out, and then maybe a dark Pokemon or two, and then he sends his Luxio out. It's probably the hardest battle you've fought so far, but you take care of him pretty easily. After you beat him, he gives you some paralyzed balls that paralyze the Pokemon, so it gives you a higher chance of catching the Pokemon. You go a while into the game without running into Team Shock for a while. Maybe every once in a while you'll run into a grunt or two, but then you finally figure out their plan. You find the giant legendary of the game, probably some electric type, and Birdkeeper Toby's there, and he's trying to catch it for Team Shock. You engage in battle. He doesn't talk at all, only ... like the Pokemon trainer Red. And then he sends out his Snorlax, and it is the hardest battle you have ever fought. After you beat all his Pokemon, you are almost done yourself. So then, after you beat him, he heals you, all of your Pokemon, all your status problem, even your fainted Pokemon. And then you hear some clapping in the corner. In the shadows, you see me, Ace Trainer Jake, walk out. And I'm slow clapping the battle. I watched the whole thing. After some talking and explaining my evil plan, because, that's what all evil people do, we engage in a battle. And it's a fierce battle. It's the hardest battle you faced all game. Harder than Israel, harder than Fizzle the Hizzle, harder than Birdkeeper Toby. Everyone. I send out my Luxray. It's pretty overpowered. And it's my main Pokemon. Battle's outrageously hard. It's crazy. It's harder than anything you faced all game. But then, eventually, you do beat me. And I reward you highly. I give you a chance to catch the legendary Pokemon, the huge electric type. I don't know what Pokemon it is or what it's going to look like or anything. I haven't thought of that. But you catch it, and I applaud you. You fooled our plan to take over the electric grid of the region. We had the chance to control every single electric thing in the world. Everyday appliances, Pokeballs, everything. Now, of course, I do want this to be a game with post-game stuff, so we are going to come back in the post-game. I don't know what's going to happen there. I haven't really thought of that. for now, this is Team Shock. Right now, this is like 3 hours after I just recorded all the Team Shock stuff, and I don't want it to be just a 10-minute long video. I don't want to be like PewDiePie. So I'm going to explain what this channel is going to be about. I don't want any conflict on this channel. I want it to be all positive. So with that out of the way, I want everyone to have a great day. Until next time.